It's crazy when you go on a tour and then you meet someone who happens to be acting all nice and all that, but later turns out the person isn't actually whom he portrayed himself to you. This is what happens in Apex, the new movie starring Charlize Theron, and it's crazy. I mean, you not imagine right from the onset, even though some things are much predictable, okay, but then it's not going to get you if you are playing that particular character. You are not going to think about this person in any way that me watching from behind the screens. I saw the whole thing and pictured it the whole thing. So Apex is a new movie out there and then it's actually wild. So follows the life of this lady played by Charlize Theron. She and her husband they used to do a lot of mountain climbing until she lost the husband due to an incident which could have taken both their lives. It was sad. And then she decided she was an adventurous woman, so she decided to find another hobby and then do that was kayaking. So she traveled down to Australia to, I mean, explore the Alps for herself. Now she gets there and then she's met by a couple of guys who are like all over her. Let me help you out, woman, and all that. She snubs all of them, and then one guy who appears to be, calm, kind, offering a helping hand without trying to get down in her pants, actually helping her out. And then this guy actually offers her help, and she's like, okay, fair. She sets out on her destination, gets there, explores a few things here and there, sets up tent, and then in the night, she actually finds out that her bag is missing. Her bag carries actually all her gears and all that. And it's like, what is happening? I mean, I left this here. Why isn't it there no more and all that? And then she actually turns out and realizes that this guy who was actually helping her right from the onset is the one who is actually doing it. Now, the main two characters in the movie is Charlize Theron, okay? And then this other guy, Ben, played by Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton is actually like a cool guy. When I was watching him in Kingsman, I actually loved everything he did in there. And I never thought for once that he's actually going to play a role that is so mind blowing like he did play in Apex. Like, you see this guy as just the ordinary guy out there, a tourist and an adventurer himself. And then all of a sudden you are approached with this psycho. It makes me remember the original American Psycho movie that was played by Christian Bale, businessman Porsche in his suit, classic guy, and then behind the scenes is the worst person you could imagine, or Hannibal Lecter, like behind the scenes, wildest person you can imagine, but out there, calm gentleman, collected, like respectable, or in the Silence of the Lamb, like now I've come to the realization that when you see characters, okay, in movies and then you judge them based on their first appearance or impressions, you're actually getting the whole thing wrong because these characters from these movies that are mentioned are people that you wouldn't have thought of them the way that they turned out to be, and it's wild and very crazy. Now you are approached with a life and death situation. He has given you a runtime. He starts playing a song and he tells you that you have until the end of this song to run and I hunt you down. It's more like watching a predator movie, okay, whereby the predators actually tell the prey that I'm giving you this hair stats, go and then I'll hunt you down. But in the predator movie, it's more like they are aliens, they have this advanced technologies to hunt you down. But in this movie, Ben has actually like scoured the entire forest. Like he knows his ways in and out there because he's been there for quite some time now. And then right before this woman went into the forest, she was told by a shopkeeper at a gas station that a number of people have gone missing and we haven't been able to find or trace them in the place that you are heading towards. So I would advise you take another route or you put a halt to this whole trip and all that. Maybe you can explore some other parts of the region. Or if it's still kayaking you want to do, you can go to a different place and then do it. But just like her straight on. She wants to do what she wants to do. And then it turns out to be like one of the most mind blowing adventures she's ever been on. And it was so wild. Like the hunt is like watching a wrong turn movie, okay, in 2016, whereby the hunters are not just people eating and persons who are not so much civilized. But then this time around, this is the civilized man. And then the wildest thing that he does with his victims is so crazy, like it's mind blowing. I actually enjoyed it a lot because there were times in the movie I was like so hyped and I was like, what the heck is actually happening right now? Is this thing actually happening? And then he turns out to, I mean, meet his end actually. And then, yeah. So seeing Charlize Theron and then um in this particular film was actually great because I've watched her in quite a number of films and I enjoyed her acting so well. So yeah, Apex is out now and you should check it out as well. And I'm sure you're going to love it as much as I did.